What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodshed. Today I'm going to show you guys the most underrated attack you've ever seen. Let's go ahead and get into the video. That's right, everybody. Today we have a new attack strategy I want to show you guys, one that I've been so excited for, and I had to wait for these balance changes for them to come through. So let's go ahead and get into this army comp. What we're running is a Hydra, mostly Dragon Riders, yep, if you've noticed, you can see it, a lava loon puppet. I've been very excited for the buff to come. I didn't think it'd be very strong, and I'll be honest with you guys, this isn't, by the way, for those of you who don't care about the armor comp, don't care about the explanation, I'll put timestamps down below for you guys. Since this thing got buffed, where it's a touch stronger, but really what it does is it spawns an extra lava loon, and they also crammed the space down that it cost a little bit more. Down. So now if you clone, instead of getting one more, you get two more per clone. So I wanted to try this mass lava loon strat, and I won't lie to you guys, there is some validity here to this attack. My best day with it so far in Legends League was a plus 238 with a single 1-star and 3 triples, a lot of 85 to 90%. Right in that range. I think I had one that was lower than that was a 2-star. But it's a fantastic attack, right? We end up using a siege barracks to essentially funnel one side along with a royal champion and or archer to support one of those sides that kind of sets the funnel. And we use the lava loons as kind of a mid attack support. Just extra troops, which always work out really well. They work out pretty well in wars. They work out sometimes in Legends too. And this is the army comp. I will share this in the comments below or in the description, one of the two. So I will share this so you guys can have it. But let's go ahead and get into some of these replays and go over it. Alright, so we got attack number 1. And so what we're looking for here when we start these attacks, right, it's going to be very important that you want to identify the sweepers, and you want to identify the air defenses. You want to identify those very, very important things, because the lava loons, remember, they have been nerfed since their first time coming out, so they're still pretty strong, but they're nothing ridiculous, right? They're not the strongest things in the world anymore, boasting somewhere between that 4,500, 5,000 HP, so they're pretty strong, and they do a lot of damage. The reason I say you want to pay attention to where the air defenses are, because they only target air defenses, right? They target those first, and then they start targeting, once they're all gone, they will start targeting any kind of defense that's left over. So, for example, right here, what we want to do is we want to take out a couple air defenses, or an air defense and a sweeper, go in opposite side of the sweeper, go into the other air defenses. If we can take those air defenses out early, that means we can, for example, with, let's say we giant arrow this one, we get that sweeper out of there. We can siege barracks over here along with get out one of these air sweepers over here or over here, and then if we come in from this side, the lava loons will cross the map and do damage, dropping little bombs along the way, and that's where a lot of their value comes in, is being able to send them cross maps. Let's go ahead and see how we go at this base. I know we do giant arrow over here. I am going to take out that air defense and that sweeper, just like I was talking about. I'm siege barracksing up top, couple cocoa loons. I really don't have a whole lot of space for anything. You could keep some space for cleanup. I'd rather just have something to run into the bombs before my dragons or dragon riders do. I am going to actually put down my royal champion down on the bottom, and I am going to use some totem spells to keep the heat off of them and my queen, and then I'm going to face roll everything up top, right up here in this top corner. Keep in mind, guys, this is not the most efficient, this is not the meta attack. This is a fun, stupid, and actually deceptively strong attack, but nothing that you're ever going to see in the meta. Clan castle troops start coming through. We do use an early warden ability, and I will say, the longer you wait to push those lava hounds, the stronger the attack is. And it's not even funny. If you can wait till somewhere between that 50 and 60% mark, kind of like you would with a traditional minion prince ability, it's wild. Realistically, when I do these in Legends now, I am noticing I'm trying to save the attacks, and I'm spacing out the clones a little more than I am here, and this is where you're going to start to see all that damage coming through, coming over across. Just so much of everything is being taken out and destroyed. Revenge Tower, thankfully, not going to be the end of the world here for me, but it does tend to be a problem, so you can't leave it alone. And with the Lava Hounds and with their lack of health in comparison to modern day defenses, now you do need to be concerned about stuff like these Super Wizard Towers. They actually do tend to be a little brutal on them. But you see, we have a lot of these things, so we still have a Lava Loon left, and a lot of these little lava pups. We still got a handful of dragon riders, our super minions out of our barracks, and not to mention our minion prince still going very strong with that meteor staff. I'm so glad that that thing found some use in some modern armies, because I was so sad when that thing was a little underwhelming on release, but people are finding ways to use it, and I'm very lucky that I already had mine leveled up very high. And as you guys can see, this one was a relatively decent 3-star without really many worries. But let's go ahead and let's get into another war attack. Now this is another attack from the same war that we ended up doing. So what do we need to do, guys? We need to identify the sweepers. Both sweepers are up here in this top corner. They're actually around the Gigabomb and the Monolith, right? There's a whole bunch of value up here that if we use a Royal Champion or use our Siege Barracks and a Queen up here, we can get a ton of value up here. We actually might. I haven't seen this replay before. I just know it's a triple. We actually might end up Queen and Royal Champion up here. To get this kind of stuff from a range and use the action figure kind of as a fodder here. And the point to that being, right, is for one, we're coming in, because I imagine we're coming from either down here or up here with the siege barracks to help set the funnel. And then we're going to come in behind these sweepers, so we don't have to worry about them kind of go at one of those super wizard towers and come in from behind a lot of that stuff. And then again, we still have long range for where all of our lava loons can go, right? If they come from here, right, they go boom, 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 or same thing, they go boom, boom, and same thing around. They just go the other way around. So there's just a lot of travel time there. So let's see how it actually works out and see how well I remember this attack. I do a giant arrow from the 3 o'clock. I siege barracks up top, Royal Champion behind. Look at that. And I'm actually going to use some totems here. That is going to just help keep those alive. You do have to be a little sparing with how many totems you use on your heroes, at least in Legends League. You can be a lot more liberal with them when you're just doing a war attack. You don't have to be as conservative with them as I always am. But that Legends peace of mind, right, always has me, and I'm always being very, very cautious with these totems because I'm just so used to that. You can see King and Royal Champion still kicking on the bottom. I do actually pop the Lava Loon Puppet here, and you notice I'm actually going to wait a little bit longer to clone on them, because for one, I don't want to clone the Dragon Riders and Dragons. I want stuff that's going to be able to go around the map and get huge value. And you guys see where they're going? That's right, they're going to go smack across the middle. So I'm going to hit them with that Minion Prince ability, and I'm just going to let them walk all through the middle of it. You guys can see how much damage that did to that Town Hall. And there's just that gigantic slowdown, and now they're still just running around. They're going to go over top. They took out that air defense. They're going to take out this last one over here just by blowing up. Took out a multi-archer tower. I mean, I don't... Realistically, is the 3 clones necessary? Probably not. But I think it's just way too funny and way too satisfying when it works. And I want to point out, this is not just a war strategy. I've been using this in Legends League for a couple days, and there is, like I said, there's something here to this. This will never be something meta, like I've said, but this is just something so fun that for some reason works every once in a while. Hopefully we can narrow it down and get it down to a little bit more of a perfect science. But let's have enough of the yapping, right? Let's not talk about this being a Legends attack. Let me show you guys that this is a Legends attack. Alright, so enough of the yapping. Let's get to attacking. Now with a base like this, I say that and then I'm going to start yapping some more. With a base like this, I am always so terrified of that 1-star where I go all the way around the base and I just leave the Town Hall alone. So with something like this, I normally drop the Siege Barracks over here. This one I'll tell you. I've seen the replays, I know exactly how this goes. I'll drop the Siege Barracks somewhere over here. I'll giant arrow somewhere into this mess of stuff for some ungodly reason. Essentially just trying to set myself a little bit of a funnel here towards the top end. I'm going to Royal Champion up here to take out this and this kind of little compartment up here. And then I'm just going to have my army push through around in this direction. And I am going to be very aggressive with my totem placements over here just to make sure the action figure and my queen stay alive to actually help get through and get to that core. So you see Siege Barracks goes down, Queen with her Seeking Shield and her spear goes out. I'm still not sure how much I love the Seeking Shield, but you know, it does definitely tend to help take out a couple things. It saves her a couple spears, so I think it's worth doing. As you guys can see, armies coming down. We're going in directly on top of that Town Hall, essentially. I'm dropping more of those totems, just trying to keep everything there in a nice spot right there, so that way Longshot doesn't eat away at the army. and that way my queen and the action figure can actually do some real damage. I'm out of totems at this point. I'm going to pop the Warden ability as it starts going around the outside. Thankfully, action figure does win that fight. And now I'm actually going to start cloning these lava ones, but I'm actually going to have a little bit of time in between them, because I've had the issue now where they start actually running out. They actually don't even necessarily die off necessarily. I just run out of time with them. As you guys can see how much damage they're going to start doing, pushing through what's left of this base. And this is where you see that perfect path that I was talking about, where they're coming through and they're going to walk all over this stuff that is so strong and make everything so weak, or kill it just by walking over it. That Giga Bomb does really hurt those lava balloons in that scenario, which is a damn shame. But again, as you can see, they're not going to quite kill it, but they're going to make that stuff super weak. Going to make it really easy for the Meteor Golem, or the, I apologize, not the Meteor Golem, the Minion Prince with his Meteor Staff. You're going to see it's actually going to one-shot it right here with the Meteor Staff. Boom. Fries that alive. Minion Prince goes down, but that's okay. There's not a lot of troops left here. With Legends League, it's pretty rare there is. But I am going to get the rest of this base with the little bit of troops I have left. I'm not going to make you guys watch this in slow-mo because of how slow it is. One tap from the Dragon Rider. A couple taps on that. One tap to that. Oh, no. Two taps onto that Archer Tower. And that's going to be just enough to get the 3-star. I'm getting 3 or 4 of these a day with this attack, so there is definitely some validity to this attack being viable. Maybe some of you smarter minds than I would have some better suggestions for me, or maybe you guys would have some ideas better for yourselves and how to utilize this. What would you guys change about this? Actually, tell me that in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day, and let me know how this works for you guys in Legends. Have a great day, everybody.